We are good to go. So we're going to talk about overcoming objections today. And I am going to start right from the top with giving you homework. How do you like that? So I want you to make a list of every objection that you can think of. I just want you to get a pad of paper, a notebook, and I want you to start writing objections down. Now, this is not an exercise that's going to take you 5 minutes or 10 minutes. I want you to do now. I want you to do it off the call. And I want you to get as many objections as you can. Try to get 100, right? Then what I want you to do is I want you to write down 3 responses for each of the objections that you wrote down. 3 responses. And your next assignment is to spend an hour every day practicing, drilling, and rehearsing those responses. Tom Hopkins calls it PDR, practice, drill, rehearse. I want you to practice, drill, rehearse 3 responses for every objection you're ever going to hear. So that way, when you are sitting at a kitchen table and you're hearing an objection, you're not inside your head thinking, oh my goodness, how am I going to overcome this? Because when you do that, are you listening to the person on the other side of the table? Say no. Okay. All right. Everybody's clear on the homework assignment. Cool. Monday, I'm going to check. All right. Point number 1, it's not a fire. When somebody is giving you an objection, let them talk. It's not a fire. Don't try to put it out. Actually, most of the time, when you're hearing an objection, it's good. It means they're interested. If you were trying to sell me, let's say, I want to say golf clubs because that's the example Zig Ziglar used, but I like to golf, so it doesn't really work. But let's just pretend for a moment that I don't. And you were trying to sell me golf clubs, I would have 0 objections because I have 0 interest in golf clubs. Now, I like to golf. And you're selling me golf clubs. And my response is, I think the price is a little bit too high. I want to continue shopping. I'm going to see if I can get a better deal at blank, blank, blank sporting goods, right? That's an objection. Now, if you're the salesperson and you're selling those golf clubs, you don't want me to leave because I ain't coming back. So, Paige, if you can hit mute, that would be awesome. I think that's I'll just mute you. Sorry about that, girl. Unmute yourself when you're ready to talk. Okay, so it's not a fire. Let them talk. As a matter of fact, this is point number 2. I want you to dig deep. When you're getting an objection, I want you to listen to everything they say, and then I want you to ask them, tell me more. Tell me more. Tell me why you feel that way. Or they're sharing a negative experience with you. And this is a reason why they don't want to work with you. Then what happened? How did that make you feel? Tell me more. I understand. I heard you say this. Let them know that you're listening to them. The third step that I want you to write down is isolate. So once you've listened, once you've dug deep, once they know that you care about them and they can trust you and that you can help them, isolate. So other than my commission, is there any reason why you wouldn't hire me today? Or if I were willing to reduce my commission, would you hire me today? Isolate. I'm too busy to meet with you. How do you isolate that? Well, go ahead, Michael.
If I was a buyer, would you be too busy to visit with me then?
Love that. Yeah, good job, buddy. Yeah. If you did have time, what time would work for you? I'm too busy to meet with you. And Michael's response was awesome. And another response would be, sure, of course, I understand. And I'm super busy as well. You know, just out of curiosity, if you did have time to meet with me, what time of day typically works best for you? Oh, okay, I've got Tuesday at 4. Or would 5 be better for you? Okay, I know this stuff is fun. All right, ask questions. We talk too much. Ask more questions. Matter of fact, I've got another homework assignment for you. I want you to practice having conversations with people doing nothing but asking questions. Get a role play partner, and the two of you have a conversation with one another doing nothing but asking questions. The first person to tell loses. Ask more questions. All right, the next thing I want you to write down is people will never change their mind, but what they will do is make a new decision based on new information. People will never change their mind, but what they will do is make a new decision based on new information. The next thing I want you to write down is close. When you've overcome the objection, close. All right, now I'm going to give you the opportunity to take yourself off mute and give me an objection. And we're going to role play.
John, I'm just not ready to go ahead and sign a listing agreement.
Okay. Sure, I understand that. You know, Alex, if you were going to hire a real estate agent today, I understand you're not. However, if you were to hire an agent today, am I the right agent for the job?
Absolutely. I like everything that you say, just I'm not ready to sign today.
Okay. What's important to you about that?
I gotta have a comfort level, and I don't have that in my belly yet.
Yeah. Okay.
What you said makes sense, and I'm really good with it, but I just don't know whether or not I'm ready to go ahead and take that next step.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, and I'm not gonna push you into making a decision. If you choose not to sell your home, that's okay with me. This is about you, it's not about me. And I know you shared with me that you were moving to Tampa in order to be close to your family, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you still want to get there, right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, you're just thinking that you need some more time before you actually put your house on the market so you can get to Tampa, right?
Correct.
Mm-hmm. And what's that look like? I mean, when do you think is going to be the right time to get your home sold so you can move to Tampa and be with your family?
I don't know. I like to kind of like chew on it in my mind, and everything that you said makes sense. I just pulling the trigger is kind of, I guess, the challenge that I have. Yeah, I want kids.
Yeah. So I'm hearing that you need like a day or two to think this over before you're ready to go, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if we were to schedule an appointment for Monday and I could come back and get your house on the market, that would give you a couple of days to think this over, right?
Yeah.
So before we do that, I'm just curious, if there was a buyer out there tomorrow that would give you full price for your home, would you want them to bring you the offer?
Yeah.
What if it was the only buyer that was going to buy your home in the next 6 months, and yet we waited until Monday and they bought another house?
And I get beating. I get a beating.
So how do you feel about that?
I feel bad, but again, I need that time.
You still want to wait till Monday?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine, but I'm the right agent for the job, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so Monday at 10 or Monday at 11, which works better for you?
11:30.
Okay. Okay, now ideally, I want to get that listing today. I don't want to leave without the paperwork. And remember I told you to have 3 responses for every objection. There's another response would be, let's go ahead and fill out the paperwork today, and I won't do anything to get your house on the market until Monday. And if you change your mind, just tell me you've changed your mind and I'll tear up the agreement. So I've got it on paper at least. It's a puppy dog close. Learned that from Tom Hopkins as well. Puppy dog close simply means put the puppy dog in the customer's hand. Chances are they're taking it home. Car salesmen use this all the time. Paige, I think I see a hand up. Yes? Talk to me.
Take your hand off mute.
Okay, right. So I'm wondering in this scenario with the new coming soon status on MLS, if we can use that in this case, something along the lines of, how about if I won't put it on the market until Monday or Tuesday, but if you let me, if you sign now, I can put it in coming soon status and I can start marketing it now, but you don't have to worry about getting it on the MLS until you're ready, something like that?
That's cool. Just make sure, you know, that kind of sounds like a broker conversation, right? I just want to make sure that you run everything by your broker when it comes to that. And Paige, I think that's a great response. Thank you. All right, next objection. Somebody hit me. Guys, you're getting objections or you're selling tons of homes. Talk to me.
FSBO call, bring me a buyer.
Bring you a buyer. Cool. Sure, Michael, I'd love to bring you a buyer. And do you want me to bring just any buyer or do you want me to bring the right buyer?
Just a buyer that's willing to buy my house, John.
Yeah. And it has to be the right buyer though, right? Because I mean, you have a 4-bedroom home, 3 baths, you have a pool, master bedroom is on the 2nd floor. And if my buyer is looking for a master bedroom on the 1st floor, that's not the right buyer, is it?
No.
And that's kind of frustrating actually, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So if I don't bring you a buyer, Michael, it's not because I'm not selling homes, because I am. I just don't have the right buyer for your house.
Okay, so just come by when you do.
Okay, so I can appreciate that. And in order to know if I have the right buyer, I need to see your house first. It'll only take me 10 or 15 minutes to pop by. Now, if you knew I was going to bring you a buyer and I was going to sell your home, you'd want me to see your house, wouldn't you?
Sure.
Yeah. And if you said, no, I'm not letting you see my home, John, not unless you bring a buyer, and you're still in your home 6 months from now, and I could have brought you an offer and sold your home, would you regret not letting me see your home?
Yes.
So does Tuesday at 4 work or what? Okay. All right. Next objection, guys.
I want to interview one more agent.
Thank you, Eddie. Yeah. So I could appreciate that 100%. And just curious, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being you don't like anything I said, you can't wait for me to leave, and 10 being I'm the right agent for the job. Where are we at?
10.
Yeah. So it sounds like I'm the right agent for the job. You just want to interview one more agent, right?
Everybody said interview 3, so tomorrow would be the 3rd one.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. And you've already scheduled the appointment, so it doesn't feel good to cancel the appointment, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And if I'm a 10, you're probably going to end up hiring me anyways, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. I mean, between the 2 agents you've met with so far, you would hire me. Is that
Yes.
correct? Yeah.
Yep.
And if you didn't have another appointment tomorrow, you would hire me.
Yep.
Yeah. So can I share with you why you're actually doing that agent a favor if you cancel the appointment?
Sure.
Okay. So I spent 2 or 3 hours preparing to meet with you today, Eddie, and we've been together for a couple hours. And this agent, if they're doing their job, they're going to do the same thing. And when you end up hiring me, we're not actually winning a friend in that agent. They're not an advocate to help us get your home sold. And you would actually be doing them a favor if you were to cancel the appointment, because they could spend that 5 hours working with someone who will hire them. And I would actually give them a call for you and let them know that you've hired me and that we're going to put the house on the market in a week, and we're going to give them a week head start to bring us a buyer. And that way we're actually going to win an advocate in this other agent.
Sounds good.
You ready to get started?
You'll make the call?
Yeah, I'll call the agent for you.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Thank you, Eddie. Next objection, guys. Let's go.
Hi, good morning, John. Send me more
Yes.
information.
You want me to send you more information?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So let me get some background information. This is a phone call, and I'm attempting to get an appointment, right?
Correct.
And you want me to send information before you agree to meet with me?
Correct.
Yeah. Are you a for sale by owner? Are you an expired? Who are you?
Whoever you like, we can do expired or for sale by owner.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah. Okay. So absolutely, I would be more than glad to send information to you. What's your email address?
It's
And you would tell me, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Cool. And if I had an offer, you would want me to bring you the offer, correct?
correct.
Yeah. And in order for me to do that, I need to see your house, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, so just out of curiosity, if we were to meet, let's just assume or pretend that you like what you see in the email I send you and you agree to meet with me. If we were to get together, what time of day typically works better for you? Mornings, early afternoons, late afternoons, or weekends?
Usually late afternoons.
Okay, so I'm looking at my calendar and I've got Thursday at 4, or would Wednesday at 5 work better for you? Just assuming that you like what you see, it's kind of a hypothetical question. If we were to get together, would Thursday at 5 work, or would Wednesday at 4 be better for you?
Yeah, more Thursday at 5 would work.
Okay, so why don't we go ahead and set up the appointment for Thursday at 5? And when you get my email, if you don't like what you see, just call me and cancel the appointment.
Okay.
Fair. Thank you for that. All right. By the way, I know I've gotten that objection. I know I have. I have thousands and thousands of phone calls over a 12-year period of listing 12 to 15 houses every month. I know I've got that objection, but not very often. And I'm going to be honest with you, I had to stop and think. I didn't have it ready to go. However, because I know what my goal is, I can still arrive at the destination based on the same strategy that I'm going to use every single time in this call. All right, who's next?
We decided to take the property off the market, John.
Okay, I could appreciate that. Yeah, and having the house on the market for 6 months without it selling is pretty frustrating, right?
Yes.
Yeah, just out of curiosity, if the house would sell, if it did sell, where were you moving?
Well, I mean, we would have moved to Chicago, but now with everything that's going on, we don't even want anybody really walking in the home right now. And again, we stopped our search as far as looking in Chicago.
Yeah, totally appreciate that. I really do, and it might be the right decision, right? And I don't want to give you any advice based on what's best for me. I want to help you. And eventually, are you still interested in moving to Chicago?
But possibly. I mean, depends on what happens.
And what would that do for you? What's important about moving to Chicago?
Just being closer to friends. Grew up in Chicago.
Yeah, that's important. Absolutely. And I understand that you would want to do that, correct? And yeah. And if somebody had a full price offer on your home in the next 30 days, now your house is not on the market. I'm not asking you to list it. I'm just asking you, if somebody had a full price offer on your home and you could sell it, it was cash. It was closing in 30 days. It was only going to be one person who looked at your house. You're closing in 30 days. Would you sell your house?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if I had that offer, would you want me to bring you the offer?
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. Now, in order to bring you the offer, I need to see your home, correct?
Mhm.
Yeah. Would you be comfortable if I came over for 10 or 15 minutes to take a look at your home so that maybe I could potentially bring you that offer?
Yeah, that would be fine. Maybe in about 2 months or so.
Okay. So you don't want anybody coming over for the next 2 months.
Correct.
Yeah, I can appreciate that 100%. So let's do this. I'm going to stay in touch with you. I'll call you maybe once a week or once every other week just to check in. And if there's anything you need, I'm a phone call away. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Yeah. So in the meantime, I'm going to send you a link to my app. I'm going to send you a link to my consumer app and to my website. And I'm going to start sending you some information on your neighborhood through a neighborhood nurture custom website that I have for you as well. Does that work?
That works.
Okay, cool. I'm good with that, right? I'm going to create emotional proximity because I'm going to stay in touch. Most other real estate agents won't. Most other agents would consider that a bad lead. What I want you guys to hear is there are no such things as bad leads. They're just real estate agents who don't follow up. Right? So I was having a conversation with a real estate agent yesterday, and I'm a recruiter, right? And this agent said, I'm too busy to meet with you. How would you guys respond to that?
If I was $1 million listing, would you be too busy to meet with me then?
Yes. So Michael, that's exactly what I said. I said, I can appreciate that. And if I were going to list my house with you today for $1 million, would you have time to meet with me? What do you think the agent said? Yes. Cool. And the commission on that sale would be $25,000, $30,000, maybe more. What if this meeting between you and I, Michael, is worth $50,000? What if it's worth $100,000? What if it's worth more? Would you have time to meet with me? Yes. And we scheduled the appointment. All right, I'm going to give you a couple other objections just because I don't want to run out of time without giving you as many as I can. Okay, your commission's too high. Guys, holy cow, I can't believe nobody said that. Porcupine, my commission's too high. Now, the seller, the homeowner, has to defend their objection versus you defending your commission. And this works like magic when you have a couple sitting on the other side of the table. So husband and wife, for example, and the husband says, your commission's too high. And your response is, my commission's too high? And now he starts defending his objection, and she chimes in and says, are you nuts? Did you listen to everything that he does? You want to hire that other guy that was going to, yeah. And you just sit there and watch and let them two work it out. And then, so you're ready to get started? It's fun. Okay. Now, another response to your commission's too high. I can appreciate that. And if I were willing to reduce my fee, would you hire me today? Isolate. Yes. Cool. So what I'm hearing you ask is how good of a negotiator I am. And the really good news is I'm a great negotiator. So is my commission negotiable? Yes, 100%, just not today. My fee today is 6%. Now, when we have an offer, if I need to give up money in order to make the deal work, I will, because I'm a deal maker, not a deal breaker. And after all, Eddie, if we listed your house for $500,000 and we got $510,000 for your home, my commission really wouldn't matter, would it?
Nope.
Yeah. So let's wait until we get an offer. And if I need to give up money in order to make this deal work, I will.
Usually it's the commission or the price.
Yeah. So let's stick with this though. And second response, you know, Eddie, here's what concerns me about lowering my commission. You see, if you were to hire a discount agent that is willing to give up their money that they use to support their family that quickly, how quickly would they give up your money when we have an offer on your home?
Very fast.
Do you want to hire an agent that's willing to give away your money?
Nope.
Okay, so I want to list my house at a higher price. Awesome, I can appreciate that. And the market is saying somewhere around 410 to 420, and you want to list your house for 450. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes, cool. And can I share with you why that concerns me? You guys hearing a common theme here? It's pain or pleasure, and I'm taking them to future negative. See, what concerns me about that is if we listed your house at 450 and the right buyer is somewhere between 4 and 425, they're never gonna see your house. It's kind of like going fishing and hanging your bait 3 feet above the water. You're not gonna catch any fish. You see, you would hire me because of my marketing and you expect me to get more money for your house, and I can understand that, but I don't determine the price and neither do you. The market does. The buyer does. The appraiser does. Not me. And unfortunately, not you. And if I owned a charter boat and you hired me to take you fishing, and I knew where the fish are, and I have the best boat money can buy and the best fishing equipment money can buy, and I have the right bait, and I even know right where the fish are, and we go right there, and we hang our bait 3 feet above the water, how many fish are we gonna catch?
0.
0. We gotta get down there where the fish are. Okay, I wanna hire a neighborhood expert. I can appreciate that. And if you were to hire the neighborhood expert, they probably have 2 or 3 listings in the neighborhood, maybe more. And when they get a call on your home, they win regardless of which property they sell. They might actually even use your home in order to sell another listing. Now, if you were to hire me, your home would be the only home that I have in the neighborhood. And the only way I win is when I sell your home. Besides, if I were gonna hire, this is the second response. Besides, if I was gonna hire a real estate agent, I would wanna hire someone working hard to become the neighborhood expert versus someone who is already the neighborhood expert. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay. How long have you been in real estate? Can't believe nobody brought that up. So I just started, and that's exactly why you should hire me. Can I explain? You see, if I were going to hire a real estate agent, I would rather hire someone who's brand new and working hard to become successful versus someone who's been doing this for 10 or 20 years and sells lots of houses. Who's more motivated to get your home sold?
A brand new agent.
Yep, that's exactly why you should hire me. I want you to spend more money on marketing. Nobody brought that up. So, if somebody's outside honking their horn for you to come outside, go into the door. I want you to spend more money on marketing. Cool. If we spend more money on marketing, however, the property is not at the right price, all we're doing is telling more people that your home is overpriced. Now, I'll be glad to spend more money on marketing. We have to get the price at the right price. See, marketing doesn't sell your house, price does. Publix could put up billboards all the way down Sample Road, advertising milk at, I don't know, $4 a gallon. I don't know what milk costs. And if Walmart across the street is selling the same product for half the money, those billboards are going to do absolutely no good. All they've done is tell everybody that the product is overpriced. I need more money for my home because I've put money into improvements. When you made the improvements, did you know you were going to sell the house? You're going to hear no. If you could have the $50,000 back or still have the improvements, which would you choose? More than likely, they're going to tell you the money. And when you made the improvements, you made them for 3 reasons. Number 1, for personal enjoyment. Number 2, to make your home more sellable in a buyer's market. And number 3, to improve or increase the value of your home. And the number 1 reason is for personal enjoyment. Now, you made those improvements 2 years ago. Did you enjoy the improvements? Yes, cool. And this is going to make your home more sellable, which will help us beat the competition. Unfortunately, you're not going to get $50,000 more for your home because you spent $50,000 updating the kitchen. I'll give you a perfect example. If you were to put in a pool, it would cost you $50,000 to put in the pool. And, well, that was weird. And if you sold your house next year, the appraiser is going to give you $15,000 to $20,000 in value for that pool, maximum. And you just spent $50,000 on the pool. All right, we could keep going all day, guys. And it's 9:06. So you got your homework assignment. Write down 100 objections. Write down 3 answers for every single objection that you write down. And then spend an hour a day practicing, drilling, and rehearsing the responses to those objections. Now, for those of you who do this, it will create incredible success. It's the path to mastery. And mastery pays. Just imagine how successful you're going to be when you get to unconscious competence when having a real estate conversation with someone. You get to the point where you don't even have to think. The response is just there. All right, give me some ahas. What'd you hear? What do you think? What are you going to do different that you haven't been doing?
John?
Yes, sir.
Realistically, I mean, we gave you probably some basic objections, and you gave us a couple of others that should come up, you know, commission and, you know, the improvements, and I want to get the value back. Those are relatively common objections. And I think when people do this exercise, they're going to realize that there's only 5 or 8 common objections. They're going to find it very difficult to come up with 100 objections.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know.
Right?
Yeah.
So this is going to be a great aha for them to realize, like, the sellers only say the same thing. So once you understand these 5 or 7 objections, you're on your path.
Yeah. Thank you, Michael. I agree. Here, I'll give you guys a fun one. Yeah, to Laura, 100%. Have them do a video walkthrough. Yep, I agree. So here's a fun one. I've never heard of you. And your response to that is, I've never heard of you either. All right, some of you are laughing. I've used that, by the way, and I got the appointment. Yeah, I've never heard of you. Cool, I never heard of you either. All right, ahas, talk to me.
John?
Yes.
Hey, it's Balti.
Balti.
I think, you know, what I got here was, you know, when you said dig deeper, you know, I was writing that, and it's just like that, the active listening piece, you know, to really just understand, you know, the attention, the attitude, and, you know, adjust on the fly, you know, once you really just listen to the client or the buyer or the seller. So I think that's key, you know, so definitely got that.
Love it. Thank you for sharing that. It's important.
And I like 2 things that you turned around and said. One of them is, it's not a fire. Don't rush to cut them off. Let them go ahead and empty out and say everything they have to say, and then go ahead and isolate it and put out that fire.
Yeah. Yeah. For those of you working with buyers and you walk into the house and they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe the color of these walls. Oh my gosh, the wallpaper in the kitchen, so ugly. Your job is not to convince them that their opinion is incorrect. Your job is actually to dig deeper and bring more of it out. Because if they're objecting, it means they're interested. If they're walking through that house and they're not saying a word, they probably don't like the house. Now, if they walk into the house and they say, ugh, these floors, I can't stand this carpet.
What kind of carpet would you like?
Or what would you do? Well, I would tear it out. Yeah. Can you do that? Oh yeah, I can do that. Okay. And they're going to start coming up with the solutions. And you didn't do anything but ask questions.
Stay out of judgment and stay in curiosity.
Thank you, Michael. Stop judging opportunity away, guys. Holy cow. How much money have you lost because of judgment?
I think for me, what you just said, somebody saying, oh, that's like the ugliest wallpaper, or making a comment about anything about the house means they're interested. That's an aha. Because I would think the opposite. I would.
There you go. Why would they object? Why would they even have an opinion if they're not interested?
That's true.
So those of you who know me know that I didn't work with buyers. I've never worked with a buyer. However, I've had buyer agents on my team, and they would tell me, so I took so-and-so out, and we walked in the front door, and they hated the house. I said, okay, what'd you do? Well, we continued to look at it. Okay, how long were you there? Oh, we were there for 45 minutes. I'm like, wait a minute. They hated the house, and you were there for 45 minutes? Are they going to write an offer? No, they hated the house. Then what the heck were you there for 45 minutes? Guys, when you've got a buyer and they hate the house, it's time to go. Go look at the next house. And those of you who work with buyers, you know this. They're going to say, oh, no, I still want to look around. Why? You have no interest in this house. Why do you want to look at it? All right, maybe this is why I didn't work with buyers. Don't listen to me. All right, one more aha. We're going to break. I kept you guys over today, and I appreciate you hanging in there with me.
For me, hi, John, it was there's no bad lead, just bad follow-up. And I think for me, I immediately point the finger that way. Yeah. And say, well, oh my God, I can't believe this, that, and the other, instead of self-reflection of, okay, let me really take a look at what have I really done to follow up with this person? Have I exhausted every avenue to do so?
Yeah. There's only two reasons to stop following up. They sold their house, they bought another house, they listed with another agent. You can stop. Otherwise, you never stop. Never. I'm never gonna hire you. Cool. Talk to you in a couple of weeks. You hear me? I mean that. Right. If I ever listed my house, I'm listing with my brother, my sister, my aunt, my niece, my whatever. Cool. Talk to you in 2 weeks.
John.
Yep.
I have an appointment, and the tenant is in the property. So the owner is trying to make an appointment with the tenant for me to preview.
Yep.
What's my approach to the owner?
So you're going to connect with the owner over the phone. I mean, ideally you want them to be there. And Christian, right. if you can't, you want to still go on the appointment, take great notes, possibly video, maybe something that you could share with the owner. And the value is in the follow-up. So the value is in the conversation with the owner after you've seen the property, and staying in touch with them until they get to that point where they're ready to hire a realtor and you're creating emotional proximity.
Awesome.
Okay. All right, guys, it is 9:15 and I have another call that I'm late for, so I got to run. And all of you have a great weekend. Don't forget your homework assignment. Get busy, get to work, go find opportunity. Make it a great day. Got it.
Good day, everyone.